all 12 keys one night down in County Wexford, you know. And then the terrible thing was there was no back exit from dance halls. You went into the dressing room and you put your things away, and then you took a deep breath and you walked out through the public, you know, hoping they wouldn't see you with a coat on, like, you know.
Joe Dolan left for Israel in 1967 to be replaced by Terry Woods. Andy himself left after one album to wander Eastern Europe in 1968. Andy's trip to the Balkans proved very educational.
Well, the first time I heard Bulgarian music, which was played on the radio a lot in those days, you know, because I mean culture, like the overthrow of Stalinism was a necessity, historical necessity, but it was a shame that all the bathwater was thrown out as well, you know, because culture was much respected in those days. And I heard it on the radio. I was hitchhiking with a woman who became my wife quite briefly, and the driver was trying to talk to us, and we didn't have enough Bulgarian, and the engine was very loud anyway, so he turned on the radio, and this music came out, and I went kind of, oh, that must be Bulgarian folk music, and I was hooked on it. It was like the Woody Guthrie thing earlier on, from the first bar. I was kind of, yes!
It was in the basement of this very house in prosperous County Kildare that all four original members of Planxty recorded together for the first time. Christy Moore had returned from England with a plan to assemble the country's finest musicians to record his second solo album, which he subsequently titled Prosperous. Joining Christy was Andy Irvine of Sweeney's Men, renowned Kildare piper Lee Mogo Flynn, and Christy's old school pal Donald Lunny. The chemistry was so good that all four members reconvened in Dublin in January 1972 to form a band called Planxty.
Basically, we were having such a good time that it just dawned on us one day, should we try and put this together on a more permanent basis? Yeah. And everybody was up for it. Yeah. But we had to go on and finish what it was we were doing. So we went away for about 6 months and then reconvened. Liam ceased being a teacher. Donald ceased being a member of We Four. Andy came back from Bulgaria. I came back from Yorkshire. Yeah. And we started rehearsing.
So Christy got in touch with myself Donal Lunny, Andy Irvine. The idea we'd be his sort of special guests on the new album. And gosh, I can't even remember, you know, we didn't sort of spend a huge amount of time rehearsing or anything like that. And there's a house outside, a family outside Prosperous, the Rinn family. And we used to have sessions in the basement of this great, wonderful old house, Rinn's house. And we decided to record the album in the basement in the house. And we had, you know, went in with our ideas, and it just came together so easily, so comfortably, you know. And the result was, really exciting. You know, a sort of a new feel, a new sound actually.
Yeah.
Probably the most important thing in my entire life was Donovan was touring with an Irish band in Easter 1972, and we knew the people who were promoting it, or Donal did. Donal knew everybody anyway, and we were asked if we'd play support. And the first gig was in the Hangar in Galway, which was a dance hall. And we went on first, and the sound man was Donovan's brother-in-law, and he wasn't very interested in us, and he wasn't even there when we got up to play, you know. But the audience went berserk, and I thought, there's a fight. It's a dance hall fight has started up here, you know. And I turned to the lads, alarmed, and then they were going kind of, and Donal's smile was kind of like this, you know. And I thought, well, it obviously isn't a fight. And it took me a while to realise that we were going down like, you wouldn't believe. It was like the audience discovered that night something which they'd been looking for. You know? Des had to go and ask Donovan it was okay to play an encore. And my recollection of that tour, which was about 6 gigs, was that apart from the Dublin one, we blew him off the stage every night.
What's widely known as the first period of Planxty, between 1972 and 1975, they recorded 3 vibrant albums, titled Planxty, Well Below the Valley, and Cold Blow and the Rainy Night.
You know, the energy that comes from that sort of chemistry, it's all there in the music, and that sort of, you know, excitement. And people who heard, you know, Planxty for the first time, I think that, you know, you instinctively become aware of that. Like the musicians, it's happening for the musicians. An audience really is turned on by that. Yeah. And people were turned on by it. I mean, when we started Planxty, we decided, you know, we'd give it like 3 months, and if nothing was happening, then fair enough. In 3 months, the thing had really taken off, and it was, you know, it was like a runaway train. Like you couldn't get off.